Hello, everyone. My name is Kara, and I am with Des Moines Mom, and we have Heather today. And Heather Ewig is a certified lawn and garden expert with Earl May Garden Center. And you can find her at the West Des Moines store, which is the University and 22nd Street location. We are talking about fall decorating and container gardening, and tis the season for all things mums and pumpkins and gourds. And if you are like me, your front porch could use a little help transitioning into the next season. So we are going to talk about some of our best picks and like how to use some of these plants in a decorative way. Okay, so, all right. What are some plants and things that I can pick up from Earl May to kind of talk about or to spruce up my front porch?
Okay, so one of the most popular ones is going to be mums. Another popular one is asters. But the other things that are gaining popularity are going to be like your ornamental peppers, your celotias, perennials like coneflowers. Those are picking up popularity, get a little bit more variety. And then the other things that you can get are going to be like corn stalk, straw bales, pumpkins, and gourds to add into that as well.
Okay, those are good. What is your best pick for a plant that I can't kill?
Mums is probably going to be one of them, as long as you check them for water daily. They may not need water daily if it starts to get cooler, but on those really hot days, they're going to need to be watered daily. But mums, they hold their color. If you get them like in a tight bud where they're just starting to crack color and they're coming on by natural light, that color is going to last you for 6 weeks.
Wow. I don't think I've ever been able to keep a mum alive for 6 weeks. That sounds amazing. Do mums have preferences as far as like sun and shade and that type of thing?
So they're really going to prefer more full sun. You can have them in a more shaded location, but they're really going to prefer that more full sun to really be at their full potential. Okay.
Well, my front porch here, it faces the west side, so partial sun. Are we going to do okay in partial sun?
Yep, they'll do just fine.
Okay. All right, so Heather and I are going to walk through like how to create a fall container that has, a good mix of plants that's also very eye-pleasing and easy to keep alive. So what are our choices? What are we working with here today, Heather?
Okay, so you're going to be working with a mum, a purple fountain grass, and an ornamental pepper. Okay. And you're going to be putting the ornamental grass and the ornamental pepper in the container, and then the mum is going to sit off to the side as an accent. And then what I have is I'm going to do a different type of container that's going to have a little bit more in there. So I've got a mum, I have a sedge grass here, I have a suncoleus, I have a coneflower, and then we both have some pumpkins and gourds, and then I also have a straw bale and a little fun item to kind of add into it. So,
all right, that sounds very fall and all things autumn. So, okay, so I have these plants here. We talked about, my purple fountain grass and my ornamental pepper. When I'm going to the store to like pick these out, what are some things I should look for, like in a healthy plant?
So basically, you're looking for something that's going to be more sturdy, nothing that's kind of falling apart. You kind of want it to look a little bit more full. Mums, I would say that you're wanting to choose something like that's called cracking color. So like the one that I have here, it's starting to crack color, starting to show some color. That's going to give you your longest bloom time. Just kind of depends if somebody is wanting something more instant gratification, let's say they've got a party or a gathering, they'll probably want something that's showing a little bit more color right away. But the one that I like the best is going to show me the longest amount of color is one that's going to start to show, crack color. So it's when the buds are just starting to show their color, you have a few blooms that are starting to open.
Okay. That sounds good. We are going to put these containers together. I will take a picture at the end and put it in the comments to show what the finished product looks like. And then we would love to see your finished products as far as your container pots, your front porch decorating, your pumpkins, all of those things. And then out of all of that, we will pick a winner of a $25 gift card. So we can't wait to see what everybody has to show us. Okay, so what are we starting with here? Do we start with the big plant or the small?
So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with your grass, okay? So then I'll start off with my grass at the same time. So what you'll want to do is you're going to want to try to loosen it out of the pot. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of press along the sides of the pot, okay? Just to kind of loosen it up, and then just kind of grab your grass, okay? Like so, and then just kind of cap the pot, and it should just pop right out.
Great.
Okay. Now, what you're going to notice is you've got like roots that should be showing. You should have quite a lot of roots. Okay. So what you'll want to do is you can either cut the roots.
Heather, it's not coming out.
Pop it again.
Okay.
Top. Pop it on the top. Pop it down.
Oh, down. Okay. Down. See, that makes it easier. It's coming off. Okay, keep talking.
Okay. So what you're going to see is you're going to see quite a number of roots. Okay. So you can either take a knife and cut vertically in several different spots. Okay. Or you can just do it easily by just kind of tearing the bottom a little bit. Basically, what you're trying to do is break those roots apart. Did it come off?
We're getting there.
A little harder.
It's a little root bound at the bottom, so we're untangling some of the bottom things.
Did it come off?
My gosh!
Pound it a little harder.
Okay.
There, tap it harder. There we go. Okay. Nice. So, what you can also take your trowel, okay, and then you can kind of dig in the side a little bit to cut it. So just kind of lay your plant off to the side. Lay it on the side and take your trowel and you're going to kind of cut up the side a little bit.
Okay. Because I know it's important to like loosen it up a little bit.
Right. So what you're trying to do is you're taking those roots that are naturally growing in a circle, and you're breaking them up so that they stop growing in a circle and start to grow outward. Okay? If you didn't cut it, what those roots will continue to do is to grow in a circle and choke the plant. So the plant then will not grow very well, and eventually it will choke itself to death. Okay?
Well, that's no good.
You got it kind of broke up a little bit?
Well, I think so. It looks a little bit better.
Okay. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to kind of create a little bit of a hole. So you're going to kind of move that soil around in your pot so you can sink your plant into. And if you might need to remove some of the soil, you can.
Yep, it's definitely going over the side. I would have yelled at my children for making such a mess.
And so now I'm kind of prepping my soil for the next plant that I'm going to put in. In my case, mine's going to be the mum, okay? And then in your case, it's going to be the ornamental pepper. Now that ornamental pepper is going to pop out pretty easy.
Oh, good.
Okay, compared to the grass.
This is my ornamental pepper, everyone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it's definitely more loose.
Now, when you're doing mums, you need to be very careful when you're pulling mums out of a pot because they can break very easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick my hand in the pot to support the mum, okay? And I'm going to kind of turn it onto the side, and I'm just going to kind of lightly tap. and it came out just easy, okay? So then I'm gonna do the same thing with the roots on the mum, is I'm gonna kind of tear the bottom just a little bit. Don't need to do too much on this one. Then I'm gonna insert it, and I'm placing it off to the side in the front. Okay, is what I'm doing. So then you got yours to the front, and then make sure that you fill in those holes with soil. So we don't have an air pocket, and then just firmly tap with soil around. Okay. Now I've got 2 other plants that I'm going to put in here.
I'm thankful it's you and not me.
So I have a coneflower, which is a perennial, but it will not live in the winter in a pot needs to be in the ground. But this is a nice fall accent. This one here is kind of a yellowish orange to kind of help bring out the yellow here and kind of my copper color here in the grass. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna kind of tear the roots a little bit. Make my hole. And I'm making a mess. I make a mess when I pot.
Oh, there's a mess going on here too.
They always give me a hard time that they make a mess, but my motto is you got to make a mess in order to clean up a mess. So, and I've got one more plant that I'm going to put in here. Is I'm going to add this coleus here for a brighter color, and I'm just going to kind of stick it right here next between the mum and the coneflower. Again, tear my roots down there at the bottom. I'm going to firmly pack it around.
Can you overfill your container?
I like instant gratification. I kind of like, I like my pots full right away. I like to have them make a statement right away. And fall time is really notorious for filling your pots full right away because the season is quite a bit shorter. So it's overfill your pots. So it makes it look like they've been growing all season, even though you just planted them, you know, a couple days ago. So then the next thing is then you would water your container well. Okay. Now the other thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to accent your container, and then you have an ornamental or a mum that you'll have off to the side.
Oh. Yeah.
So then you're going to place your mum on the side, and then you've got some pumpkins and gourds that you'll place. I have got a little mini bale of straw, okay? And then I have a couple of different type of pumpkins. They're going to be like an ornamental pumpkin. Heirloom pumpkins is usually what they call them. So I'll just kind of place them kind of there. And off to the side here, I've got another one. And then I have this fun little lantern that we filled with little mini pumpkins. And then I just grabbed a couple of small ones, kind of like they're just filled off to the side there. And then you actually have your little fall scene. And you can make it as elaborate or as simple as you want. You can, like I said, you can do like a cornstalk bale. You can do like a normal size straw bale. You can really do a lot of pumpkins around. I've seen people do like snowman pumpkins where they stack like flat heirloom pumpkins on top of each other. You've got a big one, medium-sized one, and then a small one on top. That's getting to be real popular. So you can have a lot of fun with decorating.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit. I, in the past, have had problems with squirrels and ground squirrels coming up and eating my pumpkins way early in September. Do you have any thoughts and suggestions as to how I can keep my gourds and pumpkins, you know, not eaten?
Yeah, so a lot of the times your decorations are going to be by the front door, so we really don't want to do anything really super smelly. So one of the things that you can do is a product called Shake Away, which is fox urine granules. And they're a natural predator to these little critters. So when you apply it around your home or around the area you want to keep them out of, it signifies that those predators have frequented the area. And those little guys, they want to like stay away because they don't want to be, eaten or anything like that. You got to keep in mind in fall time, these guys are storing food and fattening up for the winter. So when it gets really lean, they've got something that they can go off of. So it's just natural instinct that they have. So this is another part of their natural instinct is to, get them to go somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, I've had problems with pumpkins. I haven't put out decorative corn before, but I can't imagine that is any easy or is less, delicious for a squirrel. So, okay. All of the things that you use today, can I get those at any of your Earl May locations, or what do you have on hand?
Yep, so you can get them at any of the Earl May locations. We also have fall stuff that's 25% off. So you can really, really decorate for fall and get a bargain. And the stores all have a good ample supply of a lot of things. Mums are going super duper fast, and it's getting harder and harder for us to find mums. Mm-hmm. So if you see it, don't wait, get it.
Okay. When do you start carrying like mums and all of these things in your stores? When can I start purchasing those?
So we start getting the mums usually about the early to the middle part of August is when we start getting them, and then they really start coming in fast, and a lot of them usually about the middle to the last part of August. Pumpkins usually show up usually about the first to second week of September along with the gourds. So then you can really start decorating and adding to your displays. Okay,
that sounds good. Last question. So care, how often are you going to be watering your container, and how often do you suggest I water this container that we just did?
So what you're going to do is you're going to check daily, okay? You may need to water daily depending on how hot and how windy it is. But if it stays cool, that moisture in the soil is going to stay longer. So you may only need to water every other day, but do check it on a daily basis.
Okay. That sounds good. I think I can handle this, as long as I can get things out of the plastic pots that I buy them in. Okay, I have one last question. As far as container size goes, do you have any like thoughts or recommendations or guidelines as far as like size of your container versus like how many plants I can fit into it?
So general rule, I'm guessing, I'd probably go maybe double the size if you're wanting to add other plants with it. So let's say if you get a 10-inch mum, you can go to like a 16-inch or you can go to a 20-inch, just depending on how much you want to add. If you just want the mum in that pot, stick with a 10 or 12-inch pot so it, it fills it right away so it looks full.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I did have one more question. Do I need to deadhead mums or anything?
Eventually you will need to deadhead them. They're inside. There's going to be a lot of new blossom buds and stuff in there. And then as these start to fade, you can go ahead and trim those back, probably just right below the blossom head there, to allow those other blossoms to actually open up and show.
Okay. That all sounds very manageable. I know, the hot pepper or the decorative pepper, we talked about this, but if you have kids, you don't have to be super concerned about it, because if they do eat it, it's just a hot pepper. It won't kill them, unless,
Correct. It's called an ornamental pepper because they're really super pretty, but they are really just a hot pepper. So if one of the kiddos decides to grab it, put it in their mouth, it's just hot pepper is all it is.
Okay. I really love the ornamental pepper. The one that we have here is purple, which I feel like I haven't seen before, so it's fun and unusual.
Yeah, and those peppers will actually mature to a red.
Oh, well, look at that. Didn't know. All right, well, I think that is all that we have today to talk about fall decorating and container gardening and sprucing up your front porch. So we are excited to see pictures of your front porch and to see what you are doing to bring fall into your family's lives. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and we will talk to you later.